Right then guys, how's it going and welcome back to Toon Tuesdays. It would normally be your weekly roundup of Newcastle United news, but we are doing something a little bit different today. As you've probably already guessed by the title and the thumbnail, we are doing a 100-day review. It has now been just over, I am a couple of days late, just over 100 days since the takeover went through, since Mike Ashley sold the club, Amanda Staveley, the PIF, stepped in, and 100 days since I was stood outside of St James's Park, down in Cairns of Fosters, and enjoying what was the start of a new era. And we are going to talk about that a little bit today. Now, I should say, disclaimer to the video, I am very aware of the fact that we are currently sat second bottom. Things on the pitch still haven't got any better, and that we are in a serious fight against relegation. And if you want to hear me talk more about that, and along with the transfer window, be sure to go and watch the video that I did yesterday. Today's video is going to be concentrating on, as I say, a slightly more futuristic look, a slightly more upbeat video. As I say, yesterday I was not in a great mood after reflecting on the Watford game. Today, yes, we are still in a bad place, but it's not to say that we can't still look at what things have happened in a good light as well as what hasn't happened. And basically that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a review of the good, the bad, the ugly. I should say, again, it's been pretty much 100 days since I released a video titled The 5 Things the New Owners Need to Do Now That They've Taken Over Newcastle. And feel free to go and watch that video back if you want. I'll put it down in the description. I didn't even talk about the football in that video. That was where we were as fans, or at least that's where I was. You know, we'd lost the community, we'd lost the love for the football club. You know, that night, the takeover night, that wasn't, oh my god, we're going to start winning matches now. Obviously, we hoped that was going to happen, and it hasn't quite happened yet, but the majority of that was just getting our club back. Sticking with on the pitch for a moment, because as I say, we are second bottom. The championship is on the horizon. And for a lot of people, the fact that we were unable to get a win against Watford, they now see it as game over, you know, and that it will be the championship at the end of this season. But, and I'll say it again, 100 days later, I do not believe for a second that if we still had Mike Ashley in charge, that we would be spending this January window. Not a penny of the club's money, never mind a penny of his money. And it is down to the fact that we have the new owners that we can continue this hope that we can stay up this season. And again, I know some people are saying they should be doing this quicker, they should be doing that better. They are trying to basically fix 14 years worth of issues, again off the field, but on the field as well. 14 years worth of squad issues in one January window. In a window that's short, that's expensive, where there's barely any options out there, and they are actively trying to do this to basically see us into 17th at the end of the season. Anything they do this January is papering over the cracks to just try and see us through. And as I say, had it been Mike Ashley, I don't think we'd have any hope. So even on the pitch, the fact that the new owners are actively trying to fix the situation we are in is miles ahead of where we would have been. One thing that the new owners have done that I think for me is the biggest part of it all, is basically brought the fans back together. It has brought the community of Newcastle fans back together. And yes, we will talk about the fact that I do want a new training ground and I do want a few other bits and pieces as well. But for me, as a fan who goes to the games, who loves Newcastle United, I was going to say overnight. It was on the night. It was outside of St James's Park when all the fans came back together. It's crazy to think, you know, that how toxic things actually got. Don't buy a new shirt because you're giving money to Mike Ashley. Don't buy a pint. You should boycott this game. Why are you buying a ticket? The fans were literally fighting with each other. But you know, we were creating enemies out of each other when really the enemy was sat upstairs in the boardroom, you know. So literally in a flash, all of that stuff went. And yes, on the pitch is massively important, but I plan to support Newcastle for the rest of my life. Hopefully another 50, 60 years. Maybe even longer if technology improves. Who knows? But the point is that I'm going to watch us lose games. I mean, I'm going at the minute and watching us lose every game as well. I've got a friend who hasn't seen us win at home in over 2 years because he missed the Burnley game. You know, we are gonna lose games. It's not always gonna be great, but the point is that we're all doing it together. You know, you look at War Flags, a massive part of Newcastle United and the fan support. They stopped doing their displays because of Mike Ashley. And then when the new owners came in and started it up again, it's incredible. It makes a massive difference to just the feel of the games and what everyone's trying to be there as one. And I think the new owners have really took that on board. Communicating with fans over Twitter and, you know, listening to what the fans' opinion is on things. And an extension of that is, you know, being able to see inside the club again. What is going on? What are the decisions? Mike Ashley just showed nothing. Like, there was no decision that was expressed or mentioned. We are seeing, like, behind the scenes videos of the owners coming in. Even the new transfers, like 5-6 pictures with 5 different videos. Like, they were really trying to keep all the fans, you know, clued up on what's going on. And it's not just the 90 minutes on the pitch. It's the before, it's after, it's sitting at home and just wanting to be involved with what's going on at your club. And I really think the new owners have taken all that on. And for me, it's just what has really reignited what was a dying ember of being a Newcastle fan. And as I say, the 90 minutes, you know, I'd rather we played better than we have done in recent weeks. But at the same time, we're going to lose games. You know, we're always going to lose games. You can't win every single game, but what you can do is make everything around that so much better. And they've literally done that in the 100 days. They've already done it, and I can't wait to see hopefully more to come from it. A few things that haven't quite happened yet, but were spoken about at the time of the takeover, and then have been spoken about again in the last week or so with Chris Waff and George Culkin did an interview at The Athletic with a few of their sources inside the club, which, to be fair, has inspired this video to a degree. And one of the things that was spoken about, as I say, one of the first things Amanda said when she arrived in Newcastle was how the training ground needed to be updated. Further info has come out on that, and from what I understand, they are going to be looking to make a start on that this summer, and it could be a 3 to 4 year project. Now, let's be honest, 3 to 4 years sounds maybe a little bit longer than I would like, because really this should have been done 10 years ago, but I've got no doubt there's probably a lot more pressing matters on their mind right now than some of the things I'm about to mention here. Again, this was one of the things that was on my list that I would love to see the owners do when they came in, and let's be honest, was probably not something they were going to achieve in the first 100 days. But it's on there, it's getting looked at, it's more than we would have had the previous ownership being here still. And again, moving on to other things like Shearer's Bar. Shearer's Bar has been mentioned again. Amanda initially said when coming in as the owner, spoke about the fact that people like Alan Shearer with his statue out on the road that's not even on Newcastle's grounds because Mike Ashley wouldn't allow it. You know, these things have been mentioned again and are getting looked at, and I'm sure will do very soon. Which, again, for a fan is fantastic. I mean, I go and watch Supermac do his pre-match chats at the Dog and Parrot before the game, which are fantastic. I really enjoy them. And that goes on, you know, even further into, can the club organise things like this? Can we have more of that? Maybe even on a match day. I mean, we've already seen ex-players like Supermac, Rob Lee, Warren Barton. I saw Mickey Quinn doing some hospitality talks in the stadium as well. You know, these are all things that have just been completely left in the past, and I would love to see kind of brought back. And I know I don't sit in the boxes or the hospitality, but who knows, as we're trying to pull this community back together, maybe they could do a pre-match chat at Shearer's Bar. You know, finally go and buy a drink there again, because I've not wanted to in so long. Shearer's Bar is on its way back, which I'm happy about. And again, just these smaller things that, as I say, were on my list 100 days ago, and I don't blame them for them being pushed to the very end of the list. But even the fact that they're being spoken about is fantastic. And another thing they've mentioned again in this 100-day interview is the director of football. And they are actively trying to bring in people behind the scenes that are going to help them steady the ship and move forward into the future. So, as I say, 100 days later, do I think we're better off? Absolutely. On the pitch, we're still dreadful, but the ambition is there. You can see what they're trying to do. And as I say, I am as positive and as optimistic as I've ever been as a Newcastle fan, while we're currently sat second bottom in the league. And that is because of the new owners. So I am going to end the video there. Let me know what you thought of it down below. Is there anything on that list that you would like to see done sooner? I think for me, the director of football and stuff could really come as quickly as possible. And again, I can only hope that we can get the job done this January and see us into the Premier League next year. But that was my 100-day review. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you later.